For some cats, a trip to the vet is no big deal, and for others, it's a major event, ranging from traumatic to melodramatic. Luckily, there are some things that may help, and as usual, the first step is figuring out the primary cause or causes of the problem for that particular cat. And quite often it's actually motion sickness. Now, this may have no obvious symptoms, but if your cat has a tendency to drool, poop, and throw up, there's a good chance it's motion sickness. And I would suggest getting Cerenia from your vet. And you can give a quarter of a pill a couple of hours before you leave for the vet, or if it's an early morning trip, you can give it before going to bed the night before. Now, be aware that if the Cerenia pill touches the tongue when you're pilling, you are likely to get quite a bit of drooling just from the pill. It's somewhere between funny and frightening, but don't let it bother you. It will go away. For some cats, it's more of a stress issue, or of course it may be stress and motion sickness, but for stress, a small dose of gabapentin is popular. You can talk to your vet about that. The most common dose is 100 milligrams, but that does make some cats really loopy, and you might consider 25 or 50 milligrams. And if possible, try a test trip, a short trip, to see what dose works. Also, any of the calming sprays, the drops, there are treats. I know VetraScience makes a calming treat, and several other companies do. One or more of those may work for your cat, worth trying. And even some of the things such as Prozac may be what your cat does best on. It is worth trying a small dose and talk to your vet about it. Now, also, some cats do not like those hard plastic carriers. They don't like anything that they can't sink their claws into for some stability. And even if you put a towel in the bottom of those carriers, it still slides around. So for some cats, one of these soft-sided carriers works best. And I suggest one like this that can open in the front, or it also can open at the top. And for some cats, getting them in and out is easier at the top, for some the front, but it's good to have options. The downside can be the mesh. Some cats have been known to rip this fairly quickly, so you do want a fairly strong mesh. And on the first try, I would take the hard carrier along as a backup just in case. And while we're talking about the hard surface problem, if your vet uses the metal tables, be sure to take along a towel if you're not already doing that. Easy to slide the cat around, but it does give them a little bit more security. And that does bring up one of the other possibilities. There are cases where a cat does badly at the vet's office because the vet is not good with cats. Some vets, we know that some people just don't particularly like cats, and that's going to include some vets. And some vets are more afraid of cats than they are dogs because those claws and teeth are sharper. So take note of how your vet does handle the cat. Does the cat tend to object? And is the vet maybe a little more nervous and cautious than seems to make sense to you? In that case, you might look around for a vet who has a good reputation specifically with cats. A vet who does well with dogs will not necessarily do well with cats. And some people have found that the cat that seemed to just be insanely difficult to deal with at the vet is actually not that bad. You know, there are vets who really do handle the cats so much better. The cats understand and they respond in kind. So I can't tell you for sure, but these are some things to consider. And I hope one or more of them does help make the trip a lot easier for you, for the vet, and of course, for the cat. We all know who matters most. At least that's what they tell us. Thanks, and I hope you'll watch some of the other videos. See you later.